So the Eagle has landed. I am now in Kathmandu. Wild place. I mean, I've only been here, I've had 2 hours. It looks as if I have a watch, I don't have a watch. I had about 2 hours of broken sleep this afternoon here, because I'm super jet lagged. I don't really know what time it is now. I don't really know what time it's supposed to be at home. Driving through this place, like, is wild. Like, it's like you're in a video game, like a simulator. No rules to the road at all. Like, what, like, I've never seen anything like it. Like, not in Thailand, like in Africa. Like, this is wild. But yeah, excited, going to meet the team in about 20 minutes, I think. And then tomorrow we will head out to Lukla. Sorry about the noise, that's what I've been dealing with all day. But yeah, so we'll head out to Lukla Airport tomorrow and get the trek started. Ruined it. No, I'm taking it.
Figure out what is going to be the best view and like to take photos.
I think. Come here.
Trusty. That's just right out the. When did you retire? Yeah, just. Congratulations. 4 months ago. Yeah. Oh wow, yeah, real.
Look at me, first suspension bridge. Have a look at it. Have a bloody look at it.
About 60 seconds.
Big drop.
So day one is pretty much done. It's only like a 3-hour hike from the airport in Lukla, which from the footage you can see most dangerous flight in the world or something like that. But yeah, an experience. Terrified, but we made it. Smallest runway. We just been for a cold water swim in the creek below. It's crazy. It's like rapids that go. It's incredible. Everyone went, which is really cool as well. But yeah, and this is my view from the first tea house. So it's pretty misty now actually, but pretty crazy, huh? Pretty wild that. Some nice views, but big day. Lots of elevation. 8 hours trek, something like that. Pray for me.
Locations.
Yeah. 4 kilometers apparently, and 55 floors.
So we should have like 24,000. I don't think I did. I just passed out. Yeah.
Too tired to drink.
So just coming up to the Hillary Bridge, which is the tallest hanging bridge, which is 100 meters high, which is 2 Olympic swimming pools high. and it looks absolutely terrifying. I'll turn around, I'll let you have a look. Can't really grasp it from the phone, but first sight of Everest. It's the one on the right, I think.
The one on the right. Wow.
Which one?
You want the check out?
Tough one today.
Oh yeah.
So we've got about half an hour left now. Super hard, very tough. This is definitely the most elevation I've done ever. Like, I've just turned this camera on now, and you can see sort of grasp like how high we've come in like a day. So we're on like our 7th hour now. Not long left, but and I packed my day pack like way too heavy. I think it's like just getting lighter now because I've drank more water, but it's close to like 10. It's incredible. I mean, I walk up here, like every corner has its own view. I mean, look at that. Amazing. So we've reached Namche. It's like a whole very big village. Just like it's literally like an actual village there's a fountain here, there's signposts for shops. We're in the middle of genuinely in the middle of nowhere. What is so strange.
Usually what would happen if you
Everyone's journaling.
Yeah.
I always set out with the intention and then I don't. And then if you miss.
So my voice is pretty much, well, it's not gone, but it's going because of this dry cough. They call it the kumbu cough. Just like a dry cough, really. But we are in Namche in our lodge. It's so cold, so cold. I think it's like -4 at the moment. When I was literally 2 hours ago, I was in a t-shirt and a sun hat. Very strange, but positive news, look at the view. Ooh, so I've woken up and this is what I sound like. It is what it is, but it's a bit embarrassing because every other word seems to do that, but I can't remember how long the trek is today. About 3 hours, so it's pretty short. We come back to this lodge and we get to see Everest again today, so hopefully the views will be, and I'll be able to show you.
Stunning. Yes. I shall unlock.
So Everest is just under these clouds here. You can sort of see it coming through, but there. And there's many other mountains here that are, can't remember the name of all of them. Lhotse. Very tough to catch my breath now. Intense.
in Nepali or is it in English?
I don't know what that meant, but
Wow. And I guess you get the people that like climb then, don't you, as well? Like summit, like the actual climbers.
well, actually, they're actually summiting then.
Really?
They come in March.
Oh, do
They
they?
can go to Everest Base Camp and start doing
So next
their
month?
runs. Yeah, in about a month from now.
Wow.
The summiters.
It's a good place to have a drink, isn't it? Here.
Oh, absolutely.
The night that we get back. Oh, guess I can figure it out.
You know, on this day, we'll have a lot of up coming back.
I
We've
know.
done a ton of down.
Yeah.
So I've dropped back from the group a little bit, in between the group and the last person. This coffee isn't really doing me any favours on gathering my breath. But if I show you where we were, you can sort of see why. So we were all the way down by that river having lunch, and then we started somewhere over here, so we went down and then we're going all the way back up now. So we are now at Dingboche or Dingboche, 3,800 meters above sea level. As you can see by the way I'm dressed, that's how cold it is. We just went to visit a monastery and got to watch a Buddhist ceremony, or at least part of it, and it was incredible. And it's really just made me appreciate where I am and just be grateful for this experience that I'm having. So, just waking up for the sunrise. Have a look at this.
I go by if
That's
he finishes,
go
if he finishes his food or not.
and that one there, that's definitely not.
See, mine was good. Yeah.
So, we've just come out of the tree line, so it's essentially a different environment now. Got Lhotse just over there, and then Everest is just behind that now, we can't see it. And then you've got Amadablam there. Right, we have reached Dingboche and we have been treated well. Look at this cabin. So this was burnt, unfortunately, a couple of years ago, I believe, burnt down, so they rebuilt it. A real mattress. Not had a real mattress since I've got here. What else have we got? Oh, Western toilet. So toilets here are a big thing. Having a Western toilet is huge. And then to top it off, this is our view. I think that's Amadablam over there, so we've come past it now. And we're at 4,400 meters above sea level. Here we see Dave in his natural habitat.
Earth tallest mountain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Swept it from the loser league. I mean, Division 2.
Whoa.
To Division 1. Lots of.
Woo!
Don't spend it all in one place.
Far away, Dome. That's Choyu. It's the sixth highest mountain peak of the world. Behind of that mountain is big. Above 6,000. 5,600. 5,647 meter high. Then Amadablam. Woo! Amadablam, you know the height.
Approximately 10 feet with approximately 16 steps.
What was that, oh?
A flight of stairs is counted as approximately.
So we're on our way to Dingboche, which is 4,910 meters. Slept very badly last night, and it's a hell of a difference when you don't sleep very well. I think I woke up 4 times. It's pretty normal, like with altitude, but that lack of recovery is just, it's really taking it out of me, especially with my cough as well. Like, I'm just not taking in enough breaths at a time, like consistently. But yeah, on our way to Dingboche, 4,910. You can go, yeah? Everyone on this sort of part of the track now is, excuse me, moving pretty slow.
This is one of the guides of like the company.
Sorry.
So this is the memorial ground for everyone. This is Amadablam still, so see how high we are now. Clouds are under us there. For people that have died on Everest. And it's got mates from family, and it's got Scott Fisher and Rob Hall, who were the 2 guys that were competing against each other in, I don't want to try and remember the year, but they're the ones that the film Everest is based on. So this mountain here is the one that caused the avalanche in 2015 for the Sherpas on Everest, which killed. So that white part in the distance there is Everest Base Camp. And we've got Namche here, and behind Namche is Everest.
5012.
So, and we're at 5012 meters. So in here, in the tea house at 4,900 meters, and I personally think it was my hardest day yet. I'm not very good with altitude, is what I've noticed. And there's multiple times today where I just felt like I had not much else to give, which is what it is. Like it's quite not humbling, but at the same time, it's like you realise that you can't be good at everything, and I think this is like one of my weaknesses. But I guess it adds like a challenge to the whole thing. But yeah, tomorrow is Everest Base Camp Day, hopefully. We're going to do our best and see what comes of it. So, started trekking at 6:30. Aiming to reach base camp at around 1. It's coldest it's been, but got some of the biggest mountains in the world around me. That's the sea, and then Everest just behind there. And then the sun just peeking up through there. Incredible. The glaciers down there. So about 2 hours in to the hike. So it's just full of rock, like glacier ice, up and down, which above 5,000 meters, which we are, I think we're at 5,1. It's really tough, basically. But look how quiet it is. Never thought I'd be in the middle of, Everest and Lhotse and all these mountains, and it'd be this quiet. Look. Unreal. Highest point in the world. So, rolling into, well, maybe half an hour away from Everest Base Camp. But as you can just see, we've dipped before, just seen Everest up close, and it's quite surreal, really. And it looks like we are going to make it to base camp. I've got no energy left at all, like none, even though we've got 3 hours back once we get there, and the headache from hell. And when I mean, if you've ever trekked at altitude and had a headache or a migraine, you'll know what they feel like. You can't get rid of them, no matter what you do. They're here to stay. But yeah, I'll catch you, hopefully, in Everest Base Camp.
go back. But well, it's only us here as well, because it's not in the season of obviously climbing Everest, so it's just our group. And just like, yeah. And obviously, as everyone knows, I'm doing this for Mind charity. And the last trip I did when I did Kilimanjaro was obviously at the height of me coming out of sort of my depression. And I sort of thought maybe this is a good charity to support for this one. And I'm in a completely different mindset now. I have great people around me. I have lots of goals, lots of dreams. So I just want, if any of you watching this are suffering in any sort of way, and you don't think that you will ever be able to do anything of value, or that you don't value yourself, then hopefully this is some testament to you, and to just show you that you can do anything you want.
So back where it began, the trek is done. Back in the same hotel room actually that I started off in. The trip has been incredible. The group that I had, first and foremost, unreal. Almost like a family now. Pretty similar to my last trip. I've just been very lucky with the groups that I've had, and I can't stress enough, if you are planning to do a trek of some sort, that the group dynamic that you have is so important. So you really need to make the effort to be part of a group, especially if you are going with a group, because you do have to live with those people for 12 days on this trip, nights obviously, and you pretty much have all the time in the world with each other. So it's a very, very important dynamic. As for the trek itself, it was self-funded, but I raised money for Mind charity. We raised, I think at the moment it's like £1,010, which is fantastic considering I didn't really have a target with it. It was just sort of a side thing that I wanted to do. So that's fantastic. Hopefully the message comes across that it really wasn't that easy, and I don't just record things saying that it's hard for the sake of saying that it's hard. Some people might not find things hard like this, so it's like treks like this. I did. I found Kilimanjaro very difficult as well, and I found this one very difficult as well. This one was much more demanding in terms of the trekking day to day. It requires a lot more incline. There's much more steep days than Kilimanjaro, if you're ever wanting to compare the two. The days are shorter in terms of like it was between 5 and 6 hours on average. Some days were 7, some 8, some 9, but the average was about 6 hours a day. However, the amount of effort you have to put into those steep inclines is a lot, and the terrain also compared to Kilimanjaro is much more difficult, especially when you get towards the latter stages of the trek where you're sort of approaching base camp. It's pretty much just rock, almost rock and broken down rock, and there's not really any path. Which one was harder? Hard to say. This one, I think physically I can push through things most of the time, which I did. I think the one thing that I knew that would potentially get me is the altitude. I don't deal very well with altitude at all. Obviously, people know that from my last trip in Kilimanjaro, that it was just a very devastating time for me, even though I did manage to do it. This one, I did feel the effects of altitude, just not as much. And I think that's just the reason being is because the amount you go up to get to Everest Base Camp from where you sleep is very little. It's from 4,900 to 5,300 meters, so it's only 400 meters in ascent. Whereas Kilimanjaro, you pretty much have to do from 4,600 meters to 5,900 meters in one night, which is obviously a huge amount to increase in one particular night. So overall, I think as a trek, Everest Base Camp is more difficult. I think in terms of altitude and that side of things, I think Kilimanjaro is more difficult, especially just because of the last night. I think the last night on Kilimanjaro pretty much tops anything on this trip. But yeah, both have been absolutely incredible. I've had the best time. It's been incredibly difficult. I've missed my partner, I've missed my family, friends, home, things like that a lot more this time. And yeah, and physically I'm just absolutely battered. I think this trek was also longer. It was about 12 days long, and it's just been quite draining towards the end of it, and I think my body has definitely been through enough now. But if anyone would ever want to do a trek like this, or this particular trip, and they want to ask me any questions, for sure I'd be happy to help. And hopefully the message of being able to do whatever you want in life, as long as you put your mind to it, hopefully that message has come across in this little video that I've made. And yeah, hopefully one day we will do another one of these in a different location in the world, and I will have just as much of a great experience as I have had here.